Today we're going to do things a little differently. If you've been following me for a while on YouTube, you know that my name is Amanda Ryba, and I have been a licensed financial coach and consultant for the past 8 years as these videos have been produced. And really my ultimate goal is to illuminate to the world what wealthy people know and understand about money. And one thing that I know I have not been very good at sharing with you all is my personal story and my journey on how I went from being a small town girl living out in Ohio to starting and running my own business and my own financial firm out here in California. So let's dive in. I'm originally from Ohio and I went to college out there for interior design and architecture, graduated right in the middle of the 2008-2009, kind of the rebound from the recession when really nobody was getting jobs. And having an interior design and architecture degree where companies need to spend money and that's really how you stay employed, very few people were getting jobs. Most of my classmates couldn't even come close to finding a job. They all had to go back off to college and get a master's in something to continue to defer their loans so that they wouldn't have to pay on them. I was fortunate enough to have had an internship at a company where I interned for free. And when I graduated, they actually called me to come in and work full time. One of the other designers that had been working there, her husband was having them move out of state, so the position opened up and I came in and filled it. And again, because we were, coming back from the recession, my very first full-time job ever, I was making $26 an hour. That was my full-time salary. And even in Ohio, that basically means you were living paycheck to paycheck back in 2010. So worked in that field for a handful of years, and I just always wanted to be out in California. I always wanted to be here because I knew this is where things were happening. I knew this is where things were getting created. I knew this is where things were getting innovated, and the buzz and the life out here was so different than anything that I was ever used to back in the Midwest or East Coast. So I started applying for some jobs, ended up lucking out with a position very similar to what I was doing in Ohio, but out here in the Bay Area in California. And that is what relocated me out here in my early 20s. And I didn't know anybody in the area, I didn't know anybody in the state really, and I just had to kind of figure it out as I went along. And from there, I did do some job jumping. I moved from one design job to another, eventually landing up at an architecture firm in San Francisco. And then from there, a massive tech company based out of San Francisco that I was more of a project management kind of role in. But I always tell people, if you know anything about tech, you know you are working 60, 70, 80 hours around the clock every week and you are on salary. And the way it works in those fields is if you are not in engineering or you are not in sales, you're not really making money for the company. So most likely your department is going to be underfunded and understaffed. And that's really where my department was. I was on the architecture, real estate, workplace services team, and I was helping build out the companies that the people sat in, build out the offices, but we just didn't have any help. I was working from 6 a.m. in the morning until 7, 8, sometimes 9 o'clock at night, weekends, and I just got burnt out. And I loved my team, I loved the company, but I just couldn't see myself doing it any longer. And luckily, the financial services industry kind of fell into my lap at the right time. I was very dissatisfied. I was looking for a way to bring in additional income, and I was honestly just looking for an entirely new industry or career field to be a part of. I had two really fantastic ladies that were in my life and just really reached out and opened up the opportunity for me to come down and learn a little bit more about their company and the industry. And what I sat down and learned in that seminar in 30 minutes literally changed my entire life. I had no idea what was really going on in the industry. I had no idea what was going on in the world with financial services and products and things that I could have owned that could have put me in a much better situation. Prior to that conversation, I thought I was good. I had a 401k, a Roth 401k at that. I had ESPP stock through work. I had a Roth IRA. I had it together, I thought, financially, and little did I know how much I did not know. So very next day I met with them and initially came on board as a client. And then from there, I came on board as what I would kind of call like a licensed referral partner because I knew people that I could send their way to essentially get helped out the same way they helped me out. And they told me if I just passed a test, I could get compensated for that. And I was like, hands down, let's do it. I'm great at taking tests. So that was kind of my introduction into the industry. Now, if you've ever looked at getting into the financial services industry, either through joining an agency or starting your own business, I'm sure you had some people in the beginning that told you this is a scam, don't do it, it's not legal, that's not legit, right? That's all fake. It's one of those things. I'm sure that you've had that said to you at least once in your career. And so did I. And, you know, at first I kind of believed it. I wasn't 100% sure, but what I always remembered in the back of my mind was I knew the insurance industry was legit. And the number one reason was because I owned a whole life insurance policy at that time that I had gotten into the field. I had a good buddy that was working in the industry, sold me a $100,000 whole life policy when I was 24 years old. And I knew it was legit. I had seen him and his business grow over the years. I never doubted that this industry wasn't legit. I just doubted whether or not I could do it. Luckily, I happened to get connected to a fantastic team, amazing coaches, and I got mentored and worked alongside some of the absolute best of the best in the business, in the industry. And they coached me and they helped guide me along in my journey as I was learning an entirely new field. Now, one of the great things about transitioning into this industry is you do not need to go back off to college and get a master's degree in finance. In fact, most of the people that we work with that come with a master's degree in finance don't even know half the stuff that we are teaching to clients today. Your goal is just to pass a test. And like I said earlier, I'm fantastic at that, so that was no issue. And then from there, your goal is to get on the field and learn how to properly talk about the products and the services and represent the companies and make recommendations with your coach, with your leadership inside your company. If you're doing this with an agency, if you're doing this on your own, I highly recommend that you connect with somebody that's more seasoned than you in the business that can show you how to do this. But as I kind of went through my journey, you know, it took me a few years to really figure this industry out and figure out what I actually had in my hands. I had the ability to create a lifestyle that most people could only dream of for myself and my family by helping people with some of the best products and services in the entire financial services industry. I didn't fully believe it. I wasn't fully convicted in it. So it took me a few years to really get my business up and running. I also was living in California where all of my connections were out in the Midwest on the East Coast. So I didn't know anybody out here. And this was back before COVID, right? We call it BC times, where we didn't have Zoom. We didn't have ways to connect with people in other states. So I did what any business person would do. I hit the pavement. I went out there to meet people. I attended networking events. I met people at, you know, the grocery store, at the mall. I was out and about connecting with people any way I could to get my name out there about what it was I was doing to grow and build my business. And then from there, I decided once I knew enough about the industry, knew enough about what I was doing, that it was essentially time to start to grow and build a team of people that I could leverage work out to. Then once I got really, really good in the business, you know, I was already full-time over here. I'd left my full-time last corporate job I had up in San Francisco, California, and I decided to make a go for it. And I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely been years where it was a challenge for me in the beginning of my career financially. I struggled as I was getting things up and running, but you know, you have to go through the story to get to the glory. And I can say now that as I look back on the beginning of my journey, it's been 8.5 years since then, I am forever grateful for everything that I went through to build and grow this company and build and grow this team, because it built and it grew me. So when I was going through, you know, clients saying yes and then changing their mind, driving all the way 2-3 hours to see a client that had a scheduled appointment with me and then not being home, to just have to drive all the way back when you barely had enough money to fill up your gas tank, to today now helping people save thousands and thousands of dollars into some of the accounts that we set up. I'm forever grateful for what I went through, because it built me into the person that I needed to become to be able to receive the blessings that God had in store for me. Throughout the years, I've really had the ability to have some absolutely amazing experiences with the coaches and leadership that I chose to be a part of. We have traveled all across the US, all across the world. I've been to countless amazing, amazing locations, stayed in some of the most beautiful mansions and beautiful homes in these countries, beachside, oceanside, mountainside. We've been so many places over the last 8.5 years. And now I'm in a position where it is my goal to give that same experience to my team and to pass that down. And the mentorship and the leadership and the coaching that I received when I was new in the business, that is where I'm at in my career, where it's my goal to continue to pour into the people that are now working alongside me and wanting to grow and learn from me. And it's exciting. It's a new way to be looking at the industry, a new way to be looking at the business. Our goal is to grow to over 300 licensed agents by the end of this year. And I really believe that that is 150% possible. It just takes a lot of work on my part and my leadership team's part to continue to pour into our next generation of agents that we have coming on board, to train them, to equip them, and help make sure that they feel comfortable and confident out there on the field talking to clients about what we do. Because our goal is not just to grow, it's also to have the best trained company out there today talking to clients about these types of products and services. Because ultimately the whole reason I got into this industry was because not only was I looking for something new and something different, I also still wanted to be a part of a great team that was doing really good things for people, that was making an impact in the community. And that's what I saw with this industry. That's what I saw with these products, with these services. I knew, had I known this stuff 5-10 years ago, I would be in a completely different financial situation, as well as my family. So in order to get out there and continue to impact people, not only did I have to stay up to date with what was going on in the industry, but I also had to educate and train my team to make sure that they could do the same thing as well. And that is the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate vision. We call it No Family Left Behind. We call it Inspiring Families to Dream Again, because our goal is to help reinvigorate that dream that was inside of people at one point in their life and let them know that that is still 100% possible through financial education, through understanding how money works, through getting into the right products and the right plans and getting on track to reach your goals. So many people don't even sit down to have a conversation about where they're going financially, and they're just crossing and hoping that it's going to work out when they retire. The reality is there's just no guarantee. Wouldn't you prefer to have an actual roadmap, knowing and being able to sit back and say, I'm 100% secure that I know where I'm going to be financially 5, 10, 15 years down the road because I sat down and have the plan. That's what I have the ability to provide people with. That's what I'm teaching my team how to do. And I love that. I love seeing people's lives change through our products and services. I love seeing people's lives change through the opportunity to work alongside me and my leadership, and them having more income coming in than they ever could know what to do with, supplementing their income on a part-time basis, replacing their full-time income, running their own business, controlling their time, controlling their schedule, being able to spend more time with their kids and get out there and really make a big difference and a big impact in their community. And that's ultimately what we have the ability to do. And like I said in the beginning, it hasn't been easy. There have been bumps in the road along the entire way, but it's the story. The story makes the result, the ending, so worth it. So that's just a little bit about me. I hope that this inspires some of you to get out there and go after your goals, go after your dreams. Don't feel like you can't do something just because somebody else hasn't done it or other people are telling you that you can't do it. That's just them reflecting on you, how they would feel if they were in your position. They can't believe that they could do it. They can't believe that they could ever make it happen. Don't take their beliefs and put them on yourself. I want to challenge you to get out there and to go after your dreams and go after your goals, and don't let anyone stop you or anyone deter you from making things happen. All it takes is a little bit of focus, a little bit of dedication, and some fierce determination and the right associations to make it happen. I am living proof of it. Nobody would have ever thought that I would have been successful in this industry 8 years ago when I got started, and I didn't know anybody, and I was afraid to talk to people, and I didn't have any confidence, and I was just a shallow little shell of myself. But I put in work day after day after day, year after year, grinding to grow as not just a business owner, but as a human being, as a person. I have grown significantly in my personal life, in my business life, in my spiritual life, because I chose to go out there and do something different and change the face of the industry and change the face of my family's future by going after my goals and things that most people would never think are possible. So again, I hope this video inspires you to do something big with your life. I am by no means where I want to be, but I am on the right track. I have a plan, I have leadership, I have coaching, I have mentorship. And if you are looking to get into this industry, or you're in it and you're looking for a good coach or somebody to help guide you and show you the way, let's connect. High chance I've been where you are at some point in my career, and I can steer you in the right direction by helping you get to where I am in half the time, by avoiding some of the mistakes that I made when I first got started in business. So all you have to do is click the link in my bio to get connected to me or my team. We'd love to have a conversation with you and meet you and see if you might be a good fit for us. You can also click the link below in the description of this video, and it will take you to the exact same place. I want to encourage you to share this video with anyone you can think of that is out there, that is going for some big goals and some big dreams, because I 100% believe they just need to be around the right people, have this implanted in their mindset, and they can make it happen. So that being said, I know today's video is a little bit different than all my other videos, but if you're looking for financial education, you can browse through all the other videos on my page. There's tons of playlists and things that you can get a lot of value from. Share this video with someone you know that can benefit. And if you like it and you want to see more videos just like this, all you have to do is click that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up and get notified. Click that bell to get notified when the next video is going to come out, because it will be next week. This is Amanda Ryba signing off from sharing with you my full story, getting into the industry, and I look forward to seeing you all back here on YouTube next week.